How to use lossless scaling to achieve 4K 60 FPS or higher refresh rates at lower resolutions using a 12GB Nvidia RTX 3060. Lossless scaling is a miracle software for those of us with Nvidia 3000 series or lower and AMD 5000 series or lower. It brings frame generation tech to these older cards. Nvidia and AMD have limited their newest frame generation tech, like DLSS3 and AFMF2, to their newer GPUs. Because of lossless scaling, we now know for certain that the older cards can really handle this feature, and it is just a financial decision on their part. Thank God for lossless scaling. We can squeeze out a few more years from our older GPUs. How to properly use lossless scaling. Contrary to popular belief, it is not a one-button solution. The key word to remember here is headroom. Having headroom means not having 100% GPU utilization at the required frame rate, leaving enough GPU power in reserve. Your GPU must reserve headroom for lossless scaling injection. Otherwise, it will feel like molasses. Procedure. With 4K 60 as the example target, here is the procedure for all 3D games. Step 1. Benchmark the highest achievable frame rate of your GPU at the desired resolution. It must reach around 40 to 45 FPS stable, or at least 10 FPS higher than 1/2 of the desired refresh rate. If it cannot reach this, lower some settings or enable DLSS or FSR. Step 2. If your game does not have DLSS or FSR and you need more headroom, choose 1440p and upscale using the LS1 scaler in performance mode. Tune sharpness to your taste. You can experiment with the different scalers and see what looks best to you. Step 3. Turn off VSync in the game. This is very important because it adds a lot of lag. Step 4. Limit frame rate to half the refresh rate, that is 30 FPS in this 4K 60 example. Use either an in-game frame rate limiter or use Riva Tuner Statistics Server. Step 5. Set the screen mode to borderless or windowed. Step 6. Now, Alt-tab to the lossless scaling app and set frame generation to LSFG 2.3 at 2x. Turn on the performance mode switch, then click the scale button and Alt-tab to your game within 5 seconds. Step 7. You should now see 3060 in the upper left of the screen. Now test the game. If it is laggy or you feel a delay with mouse movement, do the next steps. Step 8. Turn on Nvidia Reflex or AMD Anti-Lag. If it is still laggy, turn down more graphics settings until you gain enough GPU headroom and it feels smooth with 3060 displayed constantly. Remember, if it feels slow, you need to free more GPU headroom. Bonus info 1. Because you're limiting your frame rate to half the refresh rate, your power consumption will also go down quite a bit. Bonus info 2. If you just need an upscaler for 2D games, there is the free Magpie utility. It has all the functionality of lossless scaling except frame generation. Now the downsides. 1. For a content creator, it is very difficult to record the generated frames. Shadowplay and OBS seems to work, but are fiddly to set up. I hope some kind of built-in function is added in the future to LS that calls Nvidia Shadowplay and AMD Relive seamlessly. 2. Lossless scaling is not free, but considering the upgrade you get, it is more than worth the low price. 3. Frame generation should not be used for competitive online games. Even if tweaked properly, LS still adds a significant amount of latency. For online PvP, every millisecond counts. I find LS useful for high graphics in single-player games only. 4. Lossless scaling cannot help older GPUs, which cannot achieve half the target frame rate, even after setting every graphics option and resolution to the lowest practical setting. In conclusion, while it is not the magic pill for everything, and there is a lower limit on what GPU it is useful on, at least for the last 2 mid-range generations, lossless scaling can help a lot. Here are some games I have successfully used lossless scaling on at 4K 60. Please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you found this useful. Thanks, and have a great day.